Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a really fun, colorful and really bright card project for you. Today we will be creating a custom stamped background for our card. Very easy to recreate, and for all you people who love coloring, this is a perfect example for you guys. Well, before we get started, I would really appreciate if you could take a minute to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss the next time I post a new video. Let's take a look at the stamp set that I will be using for our project today. This is the Sweet Days stamp set, which was part of the Simon Says Stamp February 2023 card kit. The stamp set does come with coordinating dies. Well, it's not part of the kit but can be bought separately. I will leave a link down in the description box below for the coordinating die set. Well, now whenever I get a new stamp, I like to trim off the top of the stamp so that I can easily pull out the stamp from the pocket. I love the images on this stamp set, the donuts, the lollipops, the strawberry. We even have a chocolate covered strawberry. There are candies and lots more. And the sentiment on these are really amazing. Well, for our card today, I will be stamping a bunch of these sweet delights on our card front. For that, I have a panel which measures 4 by 5 1 quarter. This is slightly smaller than an A2 size card front because I like to have a slight small little border all along the edges of my card. Now I have my stamping tool and I will place all of these little images and I will randomly arrange them. I'm not looking for a specific order here. I will arrange these images and close the door of my stamping tool. You will note that some of the stamps are hanging out of the white cardstock, but that's fine. That's exactly what I want. I don't want everything to fit right within the borders of this card panel. To stamp these images, I decided to go with some heat embossing. Well, these stamps are pretty new and I have not used them, so what I like to do is rub my finger along the stamp or use some anti-static powder tool over them so that the stickiness is reduced a bit. Now, well, I did run the anti-static powder tool over the white card panel and stamped the images using the VersaFine Onyx black ink. Once I was satisfied with the stamping, I turned the paper upside down and filled the rest of the area with the other images. It was once I was done with all of my stamping that I decided to pour some Ranger clear embossing powder over these stamped images. Now, since we will be heating up the entire panel, I would recommend moving your heat gun around and not focusing it at one place. This will minimize warping of the paper. Now, if you feel that your paper has warped a lot and it is completely out of shape, all you need to do is keep the panel under a pile of books and leave it there for say 5 to 10 minutes and you will be good to go. Now that my stamped images are all heat embossed and my panel is straightened out, I will start coloring. I am using my Ohuhu alcohol markers and well, I'm not sticking to any color scheme or pattern and using very light shading for all of these images. Well, I wanted my card a lot brighter, so I went with mostly the darker shades, and for shading, I did use some of the lighter shades. Well, you could use any coloring method of your choice. You could use pencil colors, watercolors, or even just use some spray paints here, like heat emboss it using white embossing powder and use your spray paints just to create a colorful background effect. Now I wanted to create a single layer card, so I'm just going to color these images and laying this card front over a card base. You could also die cut or fuzzy cut out these pieces and pop them up for your card. Create a focal point using just a single image or use all these beautiful images to create a beautiful card front. Well, coloring for me is really therapeutic. I took my time to color each of these images. It took me over an hour to color these, and well, I did color a couple of panels around the same design. Well, I didn't keep it exactly the same, but yes, I did love the coloring a lot. Now, once I was done coloring all the images, I took the lightest shade of gray and shaded around the borders of these stamped images just to give a shadow look and to tone down that white background. I know even after all that shading and coloring, there's a lot of white that is exposed. We will be covering those with those tiny little hearts and stars and little circles which are part of the stamp set. Once I was satisfied with all of the stamping, I colored these using shades of pinks, reds, yellows, and blues. At first, I must admit I was a little skeptical how this design would turn out, but once the coloring was done, I'm really in love with this project. My resolution for 2023 is using a lots more color. So for my card base, instead of using a regular white cardstock, I used a purple cardstock. For a sentiment, I black heat embossed the happy birthday wishes sentiment from the Sweet Days stamp set and fuzzy cut around the sentiment. We can now pop this up onto our card front. Well, I was not very happy with the white on white, so I decided to use the shade Iris from the Simon Says Tap Positively Saturated Ink and color the sentiment. The iris shade matches perfectly with my purple card base. Now all we have to do is assemble the card. I use some foam tape to adhere the beautiful colored card front onto my card base. I wanted some kind of pop on my card. And for the sentiment, also I wanted to pop it up but add a little bit of gold or some kind of sparkle to this card. So for that, what I did is I took some gold thread and wound it around the sentiment and then stuck it towards the left edge of the card. I really love how this card came together. It was so simple and well therapeutic for me. This card would be perfect for anybody who has a sweet tooth. It would be a perfect thank you card, perfect for your Valentine's Day, and well, like I created here, it is a perfect birthday card. I had so much fun creating this card, and I hope you had fun watching the video and got inspired. I will leave a link down in the description box below for all the supplies that I used in today's video. I would love for you to become a subscriber to my channel, and if you do subscribe or are already a subscriber, please make sure to hit the bell icon so that you don't miss the next time I post. Hit the like button and let me know in the comments down below if you have any ideas or suggestions. Also, if you'd like to share your creations, please tag me on my Instagram at rp_shutterbug. There's a link to that in the description box below. Thank you again for joining me today. Until next time, stay safe.